Hey, Dunn family. That Mother Amanda coming back for another episode. Yeah, here we go. Transsexuals versus trans trenders, fake transgender, fake transsexuals, transgender, and what it means compared to transsexual. Okay, gonna highlight Josh Stater for a minute, or two, or three, or four, or more. Um, Josh Stater's a dumbass. I just did a podcast interview with whoever. I forgot the person's name. It's probably been seen by a lot. And if anybody has any intelligence above the level of a 2-year-old, knows he's a liar. Knows he was faking it the whole entire time. We knew he was pretending. We knew you were lying, Josh, because you really were, which some people claim to really be that. Okay, they shave. Trans women shave their face. How do I know? I'm a trans woman. You're a piece of garbage. And okay, I don't care what this mainstream BS talks about is you can be trans and not have gender dysphoria and not have to do anything to look at. Sorry, wrong. That's a lie. Transgender was supposed to take over the word transsexual, but it got taken over by grifters, pretenders, activists. Who want to pretend that they know something about being transsexual. Oh, don't get me wrong. I know there are some that are actually transsexual to medical transition and trying to fall into this grift and say all this, yada, yada, all these lies. That you don't need this, or that to be trans. Be trans. You want to act different? Okay, then act different. Don't lie about something you're not. Or you think or believe you're trying to play some kind of experiment. And for those of you who are not trying to play some kind of experiment, going out in public unshaved, not even trying to look feminine, you're a fraud. You're a selfish, self centered, ego driven puke. And those of you who are supporting that crap, you're a puke. You're a selfish, self centered, ego driven puke. And y'all have an inferiority complex. It is a mental illness. Gender dysphoria is a mental illness. Gender identity disorder, mental illness. It actually is. I have it. I don't want it, but I have it. I don't want to medically transition, but I have to. Because if I don't, it seriously affects my mental health. Just like others of us who are really actually transsexual. We've done a lot of work on ourselves pre-transition, during transition, and after transition. heard people say that some that aren't trans said, "All we want to do is just fit in and get and fly under the radar," and that is true. We do want to fly under the radar and fit in and try to have a normal life the best that we can. I want to have one the best that I can. And these brain rot rectal tards that believe and say that it actually changes your sex is a lie. It changes the appearance of sex. If you're transitioning from male to female, you are still biologically a male. Transitioning to look as if you were born a female. Same thing with female to male. Born female, taking on the appearance of being male. We do this so we feel more comfortable with ourselves and about ourselves. It doesn't mean a gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder has totally gone away. This stuff does help. Sometimes greatly helps. I hold no delusions. I was born male. I'm always going to be a male, and I'm going to die as a male. I'm going to die as a male appearing to be female. And all of you brain rot rectal tards who think trans women get periods, it's time to wake up. That's a lie. We don't get periods. End of story. Do we have ups and downs and mood swings? Yes. Can we cramp up? Yes. Probably got gas or got to go to the bathroom or something else, but has nothing to do with a period. Nothing. I've always said there is one thing that is mandatory for having a period. You have to be born with a uterus, and you have to be born with the ability or potential ability to be able to get pregnant, carry, and birth children. And I say the ability and potential ability. I mean, what I mean by potential ability, not all females are able to get pregnant and carry children. They're still female, still born with a uterus, still have the potential to go through puberty, having a period, still having the potential to be able to get pregnant, carry a child, and give birth. Hopefully, the medical science gets better for them so that they can if they want to. If they can't. What you're doing is an insult to women and trans women. Oh, and this ridiculous BS about breastfeeding. Are you flipping serious? Yeah, you get the right medication. Men that are transitioning to appear as female can lactate, but it is not meant for breastfeeding an infant. There's absolutely nothing that is going to come from a trans woman breastfeeding an infant. Male body, even after transitioning for long term, is not designed to do that. Not designed to do that. And still can't do that, even on cross-sex hormones with a long-term estrogen and other medications to lactate. I don't know what the hell you're trying to prove when you're breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed or say you can breastfeed. It sounds like somebody is doing that is trying to act like a sexual deviant. That's what it sounds like. Josh Steeder trying to put on a freaking show, pretending to be a pretender. And say you were a joke, but you ain't even worth a joke being a joke. You're the brunt of your own stupidity. Crap like this, all these things that I've talked about, are what's making it horrible for us who are really transsexual, have the mental diagnosis of gender dysphoria / gender identity disorder, because it is a mental disorder. 99.9% of the world isn't doing this. It's not easy. It's hard. Emotionally, psychologically, and physically, it is very hard. And it takes work and it takes effort to fit in. It's not fun and games. For me, only speaking for me, but I believe all of us who are really transsexual don't want to be like this. We wish we'd have been born female if we're transitioning from male to female, or born male if they're transitioning from female to male. So it isn't any fun. You can only go so far in a transition and you're not going back. Period. And it better be less than a year. A whole lot less than a year. It's people like me and countless others gone too far into it to ever be able to go back and be like the way we were. Even though I haven't been double digits in my medical transition, I can't go back to even if I did. I did detransition, which I won't. I'm solid with where I'm at. I can't go back to looking the way I did or sounding the way I did. It's not going to happen. That's why people like Josh Stater and others are just using it for a costume. Mm-hmm. And they're perpetrating a fraud. For us who are transsexual, doing what we're doing in this process of medical transition, it's not some kind of costume we can decide to put on and take off each and every day. It's not a choice to take it off and not do this anymore. Can't take a nap and wake up a couple hours from now. Oh, I'm not trans. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back to the way I was. That's not going to happen. Going back to the way I was is not gonna happen. Maybe basic things that I can do to kind of appear that way, redo my hair, but I'm not going back. I'm okay with where I'm at, and I'm okay knowing that I was born a male and I always will be a male. Is it uncomfortable at times? Yeah, but I'm okay with it. I don't have a choice because you can't change reality. You can't change biology. All I can do is physically change the way I appear and sound and present myself. Combine those two together to present myself as best I can as female. I don't know. There was a time I was thinking of wanting to maybe, if it would have been possible, have a uterus transplant. That maybe I might try that. But no. And even if I was younger than what I am, and it was possible, no, no, because the male body that's transitioning to female is still not meant to be able to do that, whether you got the parts to do it or not. Maybe the best that would happen for me is I would know what it's like to have a period. I would like to, but it's okay if I don't. And that's affirmation therapy BS. Are you serious? Affirmation therapy is part of what's destroying things for the trans community. For us who are actually transsexual, there are way too many people that are transitioning that were led to believe if you say you're trans, yes, you are trans. And you believe you. You can medically transition. Here's your medicine. Take it for X amount of time and you can have surgery. You're butchering children and people doing that. It's barbaric. So, please, it's time to wake up and grow up. So I meet somewhere in the middle. Do things that make common sense. So I'm sure there's things that we all get together and start talking that I can work on. Okay. I lean more towards the conservative side, and all y'all that are blasting conservatives for not accepting trans people, hold on, I'm right here. I'm transsexual, and it's okay. What I'm not for, I just talked about a little bit. I'm not for affirmation therapy. I'm not for conversion therapy. Conversion therapy, we know what that is. That's convincing somebody that they're not. Or affirming therapy when you don't know if they are, for sure. Therapy is a process of finding out if the person is or is not in a caring setting, a caring, compassionate, questions and exploration to find out one way or the other if it's good for the adult to medically transition. So I'm glad my first therapist that I had didn't know really anything about trans people other than they existed. Because the person was able to ask me with care and compassion the questions that needed to be asked, that should have been asked, should be asked. Because there was a lot of things I was giving up by being totally presenting male and presenting male, and being male and presenting as female. There's things that I was gaining, more things that I was gaining positive, that I was losing negative, or that I was losing that was positive. And I was solid in my decision before I started therapy, and I was even more solid after I started that way. Any kind of medical transition is not a space for a child. Mental health therapy, proper mental health therapy is, because they need help, they need guidance, they need care, and they need compassion to tell them that you're going to let them know that they're going to be okay. And they can get through being a teenager, going through puberty, and reaching adult as an adult, and that they have value and worth. And let them know, yes, we know you're having a struggling, and we're here to help you through that. Just not the prescription or surgeries. And if it lasts and persists through puberty until you're an adult, then yes, we will. Then that can happen. 80 to 95% of people desist on being trans after going through puberty. Not when they get started on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. It doesn't happen that way. That's how people get butchered. Children get butchered, and then they find out it wasn't right for them. And that's criminal not to be able to get them the right, have the right type of help for them before this happens. It's criminal to let it happen. I believe it, that it's criminal to medically transition and start a child medically transitioning with puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones and double mastectomies before they're 18 years old. Holy crap. Come on, where's the compassion for these children and these people? Barbarians and freaking subspecies, these animals don't treat their young like that. They treat their young better than that. And where did the medical ethics come to go? This says do no harm. How can you know you're not doing harm when you don't when therapists don't do their job and doctors don't make sure that they do their job the right way? It's just sickening. Sickening. I don't want to stop people from transitioning that it's really going to help. But what I don't want to see is people transition and it's the wrong thing to do because people in the medical field weren't doing their job the right way, proper way. I believe that's fraud and I believe that's a crime. Don't help these people by saying, okay, yep, you are. Okay, you don't do that shit. Sorry, I'm swearing. I need to stop that. I'm really trying to not to swear. And I've done that in a lot of past videos, and I'm trying not to. All I know is when this trans thing started, it wasn't good for us. It got better, now it's getting worse. Stop. So anyway, I'm going to end this stream, and y'all have a good rest of your day, no matter what part of the day you're in. And remember, you have worth, you have value, and you're important. If no one's told you they love you today, I love you. Bye for now.